Get some guys who are going to support you in your decision to stay pure. What does the Bible say? I think Psalm 119. How does a young man stay pure?
Yeah.
You know, staying in the Word, staying in community, staying focused on what God has for them.
The flip side is that now there's shame in your sex drive as a man.
Yeah.
Right? Oh no, we need, because the church doesn't do this great all the time, right? Oh, you need to get that under control. You need to put, it's like, time out.
No, bro.
Like, that's not even going to happen. Why are we even having this conversation? How do you direct it?
Your wife in sexual intimacy is designed to quench your thirst. That thing that's inside of you, right? Yeah. And so you wouldn't, for a guy, I mean, I wouldn't walk around and just drink any kind of water. Hey, give me some dirty water, man.
Gentlemen, welcome back. And ladies, I suppose, to the Altered Manhood Podcast.
Yes.
Great to be with you guys. I got my man Jerry, my man Ralph, and we're pleased to be with you again. Guys, this is going to wrap up our intimacy series. You know, we're on 5? We weren't really sure what was going to happen here. We were like, okay, let's do 1, and then this is going to 2, and then 3, and then 4. So we're going to wrap it up today, guys. You'll see some additional content coming out from some of the bonus features that we're able to do. We get invited to come into Grace Family Church to that men's group, so you'll see another one of those dropping here soon. But let's jump right in, guys. Number 5 is going to be intimacy as far as sex. Let's just call it what it is, right? You can't really have a man's podcast without addressing this issue. And we're going to jump right in. And I think one of the things we really need to address right away is, I grew up I'm thinking about this today, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I grew up in the era of like Dawson's Creek. Now that's like a couple years later than you guys. But like,
Boys in the Hood,
Dawson's Creek.
I love our contrast.
Oh my gosh, isn't it amazing? Yeah. But my point is that, it was jammed down my throat.
Yeah.
Sexuality was jammed down my throat.
Yeah.
The idea of pretty much, doing whatever you felt like doing, that this was the consummation of you telling somebody you really love them, and, all this type of cultural stuff. So I know a lot of guys are watching this and maybe they didn't do great in this area. So I want to start with you guys giving us some perspective on, God's grace covers everything.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, Ralph, give me your thoughts on that, because a lot of guys, again, they haven't done this right. But the last thing I want to do is cut a podcast where it's like, man, you guys messed up. No, it's okay. Let's make let's change direction here.
Right.
Let's find our repentance. Let's change direction. God can redeem it.
I do think, like you just nailed it. Repent, right? Turn to the Lord. I think grace is unmerited favor, right? Mm-hmm. And mercy is not getting what you deserve. So when I think about God's grace and mercy, Jerry, what I look at is like, I have to come to the point to where I realign what my thought process is in this area of physical sexuality.
I like it.
Right? Mm-hmm. Dawson's Creek, poetic justice, whatever the movie is or the time frame or what was out there. And we can definitely go into pornography at a young age or looking at magazines. But the truth is we have to rewire our brains and rewire our hearts when it comes to the topic. Sex is one of the oldest topics in the Bible, man. Right. I mean, like Proverbs 5.
Darn right, yeah.
Like it's right down that path. And so obviously this is something that even those who are, from time began, there were these warnings around this topic, right? Yep. And so what I thought about as I was kind of praying through this is like, man, we shouldn't be, I think we put a lot of shame on it.
Yeah.
We do. We do. Certainly do.
We almost act like it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's right in everyone's face.
And it's happening.
It's like ignorance.
Right. And so I think what we got to do is we need to go public, right? With the fact that there is physical sexuality, that there is a safe place to express it, and that God created it for our pleasure.
100%.
So let's just go public with that idea and not have the guilt and shame that comes with, oh man, I did it wrong. You did it wrong. You can turn to the Lord. His grace is sufficient for you. So what do you think, Jerry?
I always say it's not so much of how you start, it's how you end.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the environments that we're in, our upbringing, our values at home growing up has a lot to do with all this and what sex was portrayed as. Yeah. I know in my household growing up, we didn't talk about it.
Oh, I've heard that
so
one before.
So it was taboo. It was like, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like the elephant in the room where you start growing up as a child seeing that as a negative. So then I get born again. I follow Jesus, and he's telling me that sex is good, that he created it.
Right.
It is for your enjoyment in the context of marriage.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, the illustration of the fireplace.
Yes, I love that one.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like you start a fire and the fireplace is under control. And I think sex in marriage is under control.
Right.
But then if you start a fire in the middle of your house without a fireplace, man, it can tear you up. It can
Burn the house down.
Burn the
Consume
house
you.
down and people. So that's how we started. Was like we didn't talk about it and we didn't know was that a good thing or not. Then I get born again. I follow Jesus, and it said that's something he gave us as a gift.
Right.
For relationship,
Yeah.
and you start realizing that it's not a shameful thing.
And the thing, I love what you're saying about that, Jerry. It's like, isn't there so many things in culture and that the enemy will take and twist what's already going on inside of us. He's like feeding this thing, right, over and over. I saw, when we're in youth ministry, you see these kids, man, they're holding hands and they're hugging and they're doing this. And I'm sitting back watching it and I'm like, okay, at first I was like, okay, that's just youth love and this is what happens. But then when your mind gets renewed, Paul says in Romans 12, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you realize you're opening a box already. You're holding her hand, so you're making her feel secure. You're somewhat protecting her, like you're hugging her and holding her close, which is opening this need that a woman has for safety and covering. And so my mind started to get renewed. I'm in youth ministry, and I'm like, hey, man, don't hold her hand. Don't cover her. Like, are you ready for the responsibility that's going to come with that? Right?
Yes.
And so it's not to beat guys up. It's just like, man, God has this good thing for us. And if we can just lean into it and see it for what it is, there's grace, there's mercy. What is it? Hebrews, come to the throne of grace that you might find grace and mercy in your time of need.
Yes.
And for every temptation, God has provided a way of escape.
Yep.
So, this is a safe topic.
Yeah.
And God has a plan for it. And that's what we just got to remember as men.
Yeah. No, I love what you guys are saying. And it makes me think about, like you're saying, culture has robbed something.
Right.
It's perverted it. It's turned it on its head because its purpose is to destroy us as men, right? But if we think correctly, it's like everything else in our lives, right? If we think of marriage correctly, we're going to be in good shape according to what God says, right? If we think of raising our kids correctly, we think about that, that's going to be what God, what's good for God. Or, excuse me, what God says is good for us.
Right.
And, I think this is huge. So if you're hearing us, please hear us that grace and mercy still exists. If you haven't done this well, let's finish well.
Yeah.
Let's finish well. So let's pivot. Let's talk about a couple different things I want to cover today with this. So we want to talk to the guys there that are not married. We want to talk to the guys that are married that don't have kids, right? How do you deal with it then? We're talking about married with kids, and we're talking about people that are in the season of life where maybe they're empty nesters.
Yeah.
What does sex look like in all these different stages of life? So let's start with the first one, right? So you kind of hit on that. We got guys that are not yet married. Maybe they've done it right. Maybe they're waiting. What does God's word say to that? Why is it important? We could look at the stats, right? All this, they've come out with study after study after study. If you wait until marriage and you get more, there's going to be longer success. You're going to less likely chance of divorce, like all of these things. But why do you think God protects it? Why do you think God protects it, Jerry? Why does God draw that boundary and say, hey, listen, it's best for you to wait until you're married?
Just to piggyback on what Ralph just said, Song of Solomon says, do not awaken love before it's time. That's how powerful sex is. Jesus says it's not about committing the act. It's you even thinking about it in your heart. So he even elevates it to that's how powerful sex can be. I mean, it can take down empires.
It's true.
So the brevity, the weightiness of it, I think God holds us to it. But he empowers us to carry out his perfect will for that.
Yeah.
Is that we are trying to do it our way and not going to him for the power to stay the track, to stay the course. The Bible says, my God will supply all my needs. You know what I'm saying? It's
According
like
to his
there's a
glorious
lie out
riches in
there
Christ
that
Jesus,
you
yeah.
have to be with somebody or you have to perform and all this stuff. And God says, no, I got something better for you.
Yeah.
The calling on your life is so much better than what the world is offering.
Yeah. Right.
So once we surrender to that, once we walk in that, I think God starts providing everything you need where, there's the easy way out. There is the escape that the world provides. And I think we've done so many weddings, Ralph, where we have these couples going up to the altar and a lot of them have so much baggage. Yeah. When they say, I do, I know for me, when I was at that altar, I had no idea what I was saying. Bro. And I look back and if I can see the spiritual baggage, the emotional baggage, the physical baggage that I brought to my marriage because I didn't wait, because I wasn't pursuing purity. And I think that's something that the enemy and the world lies to us because you got to try it out. You got to kick the tires.
Bro.
You got to do your homework. That's what the world tells us. So we have to trust God, Tim, and saying, I know God has something better for me, or God's way is the best way. And sometimes that's tough in our world we live in.
And I really like what you said there, too, because the power that's behind this, I think you said it so well. This can take down kingdoms. Yeah. Well, if we flip that on its head and go, imagine what it can do in your marriage, right? And you guys have been faithful for 30 years, right? I'm going on 17 this coming year. And I think to myself, man, the power of this inside of marriage and the ministry that it does to be able to draw you and your bride closer to build God's kingdom more effectively. I mean, I love what you said. It is absolutely true, right? But we have to make this choice, right, Ralph?
Right.
We got to make this choice. Are we going to buy the counterfeit of what culture's saying, or we're going to buy what God's saying, or we're going to trust him? And, it does really come down to a matter of trust. Not that we can't be redeemed. We already covered that, right? Not this can't be something that we can't redeem and that can't be healed in our marriage and restored, and then we can regain that power. What do you think?
So, Tim, you are my Hebrew expert, right?
Okay, here we go.
What seals a covenant?
Ooh. Are you
Isn't
going
it blood,
down?
right?
Man, you took this. I was going to hit on this eventually. So
I would like for you to do
go.
it. No, because that's part of are we talking about, the exchange of blood on the wedding night, right? So what I would say to a young man, even a young woman that's waiting, right, is there is a reward for waiting because the covenant of marriage is sealed when intercourse happens on your night, when you consummate your marriage.
It really is the sealing of the actual covenant.
Go ahead.
That's what covenant means, to cut.
Correct.
To cut.
Yes.
Right. And so when you do that early in a context that's not God's design and appropriate, then you're missing out on what God has for you that night, right? Yeah. And so now I probably didn't do a lot of justice to that. You want to add to it?
Yeah, I got you. So, God cuts the first covenant with Abraham, says, hey, listen, I want you to go ahead and kill these specific animals. It creates a blood path. He walks in the blood path, and that seals the covenant. Now, the cool thing about that is there's two things that happen during that sealing of the covenant. You have the fire and the torch that goes first, but then you also have the smoking pot that goes second. And if you think about any of these theologians who've looked at this, you put your Hebrew brain together, what that means is that I'm initiating the covenant and I will fulfill the covenant. The smoking pot actually signifies Jesus and the completion of that covenant where he shed his blood on the cross for us. So the importance of covenants are unbelievable throughout the Old Testament, right? And they build on each other. One of the misnomers out there, and I'm going to get on a sidetrack here, but I'll go back. One of the misnomers is that the covenants become undone as we go through, that the new covenant erases all the old ones. That's absolutely untrue and unbiblical, but we find that sometimes because of something called replacement theology, which we don't have time to get into. However, going back to what you're saying, the importance to God in the marriage covenant, right? When you're married, you're protecting a covenant. You're not necessarily protecting a relationship. What?
Oh, wow.
Now, if you protect your covenant, what's going to happen to your relationships?
The relationship is protected, right?
Bingo. But sometimes your world gets all turned around, right? So the most important thing, and I think about this sometimes when you get in arguments with your wife or your emotions kick in, right? Like you're all of a sudden, now I'm protecting myself. No, protect your covenant. Right? And so what happens in traditional Jewish context, what would happen on the wedding night, and they were talking 12, 13, 14 years old. I think they kind of had it figured out back then, right? You remember being 13, 14, going through all that stuff as a man, you're like.
So you're saying there's no dating back then?
Arranged marriages, families were like, you're a good family, I'm a good family, let's get our kids married, you know?
You got 8 cows, we got 12 cows.
That's right. Here's the bounty, we're going to go ahead and you're going to get this. And, there was the exchange of the dowry and all that. But what would happen is it would be a long process. There would be days of a wedding, right? And if you guys have watched The Chosen did a good job with this, but you look at traditional Jewish, ceremonies, there are going to be days of this going on because of how important it was. And then the best man on the wedding night would stand outside of the door for the husband who built on a house onto his family compound and brought his bride. That's actually the original concept of an engagement period, is they would go and build something on their house, so they'd be building that thing real quick so they can go ahead and be with their bride, right? Now, what would happen is, assuming that this is done right and that virginity was very important to them in their culture and still is today for observant Jews, is the part of the woman that is going to consummate the marriage will actually shed blood. And that blood, just like the covenants that we see, is a small picture of a spiritual reality of the covenants that God has cut with us.
Right.
But because marriage is so important to him, he created us biologically in a way where blood would be shed to consummate the covenant.
The picture.
Come on, man. You can't make up those pictures.
Let's go, God.
Right?
And then we get into our world, 2025, where so many scientists, so many studies have shown what intimacy, physical intimacy, sex does to us with endorphins, with
oxytocin,
the bonding chemical. I mean, there's so much to it. And when you cheapen it, when you go outside the alignment of God, it just gets... how would you say it? It gets to a place that the enemy uses against you.
Absolutely.
And we just fall into that so easily. So I would say to a young guy or someone who is waiting, like, get around some men, get some guys who are going to support you in your decision to stay pure. What does the Bible say? I think Psalm 119. How does a young man stay pure?
Yeah.
Staying in the Word, staying in community, staying focused on what God has for them. But we get so distracted, bro, where, we just get tempted left and right, and we cave in.
It's difficult, man.
It's like,
and community's huge for that.
And I want to add to that, those are good practical steps. And one of the things when it comes to young men, I would say, is steward that time well. I remember seeing a young man walk through this, right? He struggled with some things or whatever. Man, he was in community. I would see those guys gather around each other at their events and praying. I'm talking about praying hard prayers. I mean, they're crying out to God for this purity. And now I see him, he's married, he has a daughter now. And it's just a beautiful thing to see it come to fruition. But you can break that.
Right.
You can.
Right? You can turn. So for every young man that's out there, and even young woman that's out there,
I was just going to say that. Yep.
Man, purity. Cry out to God for purity. You know what I'm saying? Seek his face for purity, and then get accountability around you that's going to protect the decisions you make with a sober mind. Man, get some people around you that will hold you accountable for that. Yeah.
No, I think it's awesome. So let's pivot to the guy, married, done it right, or maybe he didn't do it right. But what does sexuality look like? So I'm married, no kids. I'm here with my bride, and what I really want to hone in here on too is, how do I as a man now make sure that I'm providing security in this process? Sometimes this isn't what's thought of, right? Because I'm so driven for this, right? How can I serve and protect my wife in the act of sex?
Be more I had to learn this.
I think we all have to learn this.
Listen, this is important,
I thought when you get married,
that's it.
You gonna
let's go, man.
Let's go every 5 minutes every day. You know what I'm saying? It's like
what you mean you don't feel good?
I know all my problems are gonna be solved, right? And then you realize, oh, I gotta work. I gotta put some effort into this.
You got a headache again?
What's that motion doing in the nightstand?
No, I do think
we could joke about it,
yeah,
but man, there's a guy out there that needs to hear what we're about to say.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's, like you talk about the serving and protecting, right? Like one of the things I had to learn was, look, a guy discipled me through this.
Good.
This is more about her than it is about you.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? I'm the one that wants it, right? Yeah. Like, no, you're there to serve her. Like, man, what if you change the way you look at this?
Right.
Where you're here to serve now.
Yeah.
You're bringing yourself under that. Now you're coming in as a servant.
You go from selfish to selfless.
There you go.
Boom.
Right.
That changes the whole.
It changes the whole deal. You know what I mean? And then, okay, you have a headache, man. Let me serve and protect right now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hold you right now.
Right.
It's okay.
And let me ask you this. Does the sex get better when you do that?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
There's a reward.
Yeah.
Let's hear that. I want people to hear that.
That's
very
important. There is 100% a reward. If you can, and Jerry, I want you to pick back up on what you just said. You go from selfish to selfless, right? I want you to pick up on that. So what happens when we do that in the context of a marriage?
Yeah, and that mindset shift to serving your wife, not only in the garage or the house, but her physically, is something that as men, bro, we're not even there yet. Right. So ask God to help you with that. Yeah. Like, you're called to be a servant at home. It doesn't mean just paying the bills, just providing food. It's providing emotional, spiritual support for your spouse. The most important person on the planet needs your intimacy, and sometimes it's just not even sex.
And here's what I believe.
It's a massage.
It's a massage. Yeah.
It is a talk. It is communicating. Right. Kevin Leman, great book, Sex Starts in the Kitchen. Yeah. He wrote a book on foreplay, on wording, on texting before you get home, on anticipation, building that. But what does that take? Effort. And sometimes as men, we just back out of that and we just expect to get home, get fed. I'm going to go to bed and you're going to be there.
Right.
I think that is not what God calls us to. He calls us to serve, and it takes some intentionality. So what does that look like? Yeah. Communication. What do you like that I do for you? Right. When I did this, was that, how did you feel? It's us effortlessly wanting to make the experience more about her than what I get from it. So it starts with communicating. Like, how do you like me when I do this? Or how do you like when I do that? I think, man, you pull them shades down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's do it.
I think something important here to note too, and this may be for some of the ladies that are watching too, is a man's desire truly in his heart when it comes to this, right? We're so physically driven. We're so physically, visually motivated, but our expression of our emotional connection is wrapped up in this. Right. And when we think of the highest level of connecting with our wife, and we've covered this really well in the intimacy series that we've done here, spiritually, am I connecting with her spiritually? Yeah. Am I connecting with her emotionally? And then am I connecting with her physically? Yeah. Right. But God created this in such a unique way and a very interesting way, in my opinion, right, to strengthen the marriage, because the woman's desire is to be connected emotionally before physically. Ours is almost intertwined, right? I feel the most emotionally connected with my wife when we have sex.
Right.
Right? And when a woman begins to understand that in the context of marriage, and her man is taking those efforts to build that emotional connection, man, you want to talk about the strength that brings into a marriage. Right. And I think it's important to get right before kids come along.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's where we're going next, but you guys can finish off. You got anything else on this?
So Proverbs 5, one of my favorite verses is, may your fountain be blessed. And may you rejoice with the wife of your youth. May her breast always satisfy you. And I want you to think about a fountain. Most of us won't drink we won't drink out of water fountain. I grew up on drinking out of garden hose.
That's right.
Because if you came in the house, you had to stay in the house, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why we've changed the dynamic of water is because water can be contaminated. Right? But the word says, may your fountain be blessed. Right? And what we're talking about right now is that your wife in sexual intimacy is designed to quench your thirst. That thing that's inside of you, right? Yeah. And so you wouldn't, for a guy, I wouldn't walk around and just drink any kind of water. Hey, give me some dirty water, man.
I think you need to say it again. And it's designed to quench your thirst.
Right. And that's the place for it.
Yes.
And that scripture is so like, may your fountain be blessed. May you rejoice with the wife of your youth. Man, there should be some joy and rejoicing. One of the things I said, and I try to tell men, and I need to practice more of, is, man, can you dance with her like you did the night of your wedding night?
Yeah.
Man, we had these receptions and the first dance, and man, I'm dancing with her. Like, when's the last time you danced with her like that, man?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So not only should that fountain be blessed, not only should you rejoice with it, but may her breast always satisfy you.
Yeah.
Man, may she always like who she is. That's a physical thing.
Yep.
Man, may her physical like get enraptured with her love and what she has to bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that, and therein is the blessing.
Yeah.
Therein is the pursuit. Therein is the quenching of the thirst. Therein is what we're chasing after, even like in this thing called marriage before we have children and even after. Go ahead, Jerry.
Unfortunately, in marriage, what I've seen, and I'm sure, Ralph, you've talked to couples, sex is looked at as an after fact. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's so much intentionality with career, with getting the house, with getting our kids right. Yep. And the intimacy part is like
2%.
We'll work on that later. That's not important. No. That is very important.
Yeah,
because primary. That's going to fuel your day. And especially as guys, we have a high sex drive where, God created us God created us in a way that
go ahead, Jerry. I'm sorry.
Captain Obvious, I know.
Yeah, we have sometimes withheld that because of the issues we have within a marriage.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good word. I appreciate what you're saying.
Yeah,
right now.
we
Men
get
need to hear that.
We get to a place where, man, there's an expectation, there's a desire, and when those things aren't met, we go into despair.
Yeah.
Some of these guys just opt out, and what happens? You get distracted, you start looking somewhere else. Oh. So what is it we always say? Water your own garden.
Water your own garden, bro.
Yeah, and I think that using the illustrator of a fountain, it constantly gives. So ladies, that's God is letting you know how important that is.
Yeah.
Right.
And the wife of your youth doesn't mean a young wife. It means that there's longevity.
Yes.
That means that start early, and man, she's going to be favored and blessed.
Yeah.
And it gets better and better. And I think the best sex is the most talked about when there's communication, when there's touch involved, when there's closeness involved, when there's there's opportunities to carve out and not be so how would you say consumed by the other things in life. Well, God is elevating it.
And I think what you said is so important because that's the flip side, right? Like the flip side is that now there's shame in your sex drive as a man.
Yeah.
Right? Oh no, we need, because the church doesn't do this great all the time, right? Oh, you need to get that under control. You need to put, it's like time out.
No, bro.
Like that's not even going to happen. Why are we even having this conversation? How do you direct it?
Right.
And you're so right, man. If you can direct that, and again, I think they had it right back then. 13, 14 years old. We're going to direct that into this marriage. We're going to go ahead and get started. And you still had the culture of the time too, where you couldn't do anything for the first year, right? You know this to be true. The first year, nothing was expected besides you're working on your marriage.
That's it.
Yeah. They had it right. Sorry, go ahead.
1 Corinthians 7, 3-5. The husband shall fulfill his marital duties. Duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to the husband.
Yep.
Do not deprive each other except perhaps by mutual consent. And
for a period of time, right?
For a period of time.
Shortened.
And then you come back together so that you might not give Satan a foothold.
Come
on, bro.
Powerful.
Like, and the reason why I laughed earlier is because you were talking about how, how we respond when, after we have sex and stuff like that. And bro, it's just like the greatest thing, bro. You just have the best day, bro. Like,
it's the oxytocin high.
Go, man.
Yeah, it's the connectivity.
Yeah. Like, I'm skipping through the parking lot, man. Let's go.
Well, you're in God's will.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, there is no distraction. But see, and that's the thing is we have to make sure we don't weaponize sex.
Right.
Right?
Both sides.
Both sides. Yeah. Men and women.
Yeah.
Like, don't weaponize
right.
this gift that God has gave you within the context of marriage. Because when you start doing that, it's clear you give Satan a foothold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say it again. When we weaponize.
It's clear.
When we weaponize sex in a marriage, we give Satan a
foothold.
Hear that clearly.
And because here's the thing, especially as men, right? And I learned this early on, and even I think my wife and I talked about, I can't remember, but bro, you walking around with this ring on, you think it's a deflection. It's an attraction.
Whew. All right, you're going to have to flesh that out for me. Because I've always been like, no, I'm taking man.
No, that's what you're saying. That's not what women who are in pursuit of a good man are saying.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Never thought about it that way.
They're like, oh, man, Jerry.
Yeah.
Wow. Been married 30 years, man. He's so faithful. Look at him.
You got any advice?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Mira, que pasa?
I got some advice.
Run. Flee. Like Joseph, man, if you're not going to slip, don't walk in slippery places. Because the reality of it is sometimes the bravest thing that you can do as a man is run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So this is an attraction, guys. And so we have to realize, oh, well, I'm married now. It doesn't die off.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because now they know you committed to someone else, so they have less commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those few minutes in a wherever, we can, a bathroom somewhere or in a bar in a corner or in your car in a parking lot or whatever.
Destruction.
It's destruction, bro.
Yeah.
And so what we got to do, if this is healthy within the context and the covenant of a marriage, and we don't deprive each other and we don't weaponize this, and we're open and we're talking about it, then we don't give Satan that opportunity.
Yeah.
You close the door.
You close the door.
And you're building levels of deeper and deeper intimacy.
Right.
It's a spiritual act too.
Yes.
Yeah. Emotionally, spiritually, right? Deeper and deeper and deeper. And what that does is it builds that fortress around your marriage.
Yeah.
Where it's not even on your radar.
And sex can become an act of worship when it's self-giving and not self-serving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like get to a place of intimacy where you're looking eye to eye and you're consummated with worship. Like, this is God, you blessed us so much. You created this, for us, and we got to stay focused on that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you should pray before you have sex?
I think you should. Yeah.
I think that's.
I don't
you're
always
inviting God into it.
I don't always either, but I have.
Always, yeah.
I have. Yeah. So let's go ahead and kill the weird thing around that. Man, pray.
Yeah.
Man, Lord, I've never prayed with my wife before marriage, but I have prayed before marriage and said, Lord, you know what? Let this be honoring to you.
Right.
Because the marriage bed is undefiled.
Yeah.
Right. So
he's not embarrassed by sex.
We want the power of your Holy Spirit to show up in this act of worship as we come together. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's an area. That's a step as a man.
Yeah.
That you can tell, inviting God into this. And that's what you're going back to, Jerry. When you spoke earlier, you're saying, hey, look, man, all of this designed by God is for his good pleasure. So why do we close the door on God?
Yeah. Right. Too much culture creep.
Man, let's open the door. God, come on in here.
He created it. That means it's good.
It's good.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Go ahead.
All right, so we're going to wrap up. We're running out of time, but two more things we wanted to hit on real quick, and that's going to be, what are some practical steps for the guy that's got little kids running around at home, because that's the next level. How do you cultivate that amongst that chaos? And I can definitely speak to that in my area, my time of life, which I'm sure you guys remember. And then, what does it look like? Right.
Go play. Find something to do.
And then, your stage, the empty nester stage too. How does it morph? How does it change? Give our guys a heads up that might be in that phase of their life. So let's finish up with those two things.
Put it on the calendar.
Flesh that out. Is it that simple?
Be intentional. Yes, put on the count. Be intentional. Hey,
Good.
this weekend we're doing that. Build some anticipation to it. Obviously, you don't want it to be a routine.
Yeah.
But you want to show your spouse that this is important to you.
Yeah.
That I want to create some space where we can worship together.
Yeah.
Just like we create space for prayer, our prayer time, our Bible reading. This also is important because, like we say, it's the thermostat of your relationship.
Yep.
It's like, is it hot or cold? It'll tell you where you're at. And I think being intentional,
Putting it on the
putting
calendar.
on the calendar,
I like it.
it's not like it's a to-do.
Yeah.
It's a you get to.
It's a building up to.
Yeah.
And I'll piggyback on that too. I got some really good advice from a mentor of mine. And if you don't have one of those, you should get one. He said, why don't you just track your wife's period?
Yeah. They got
And
apps
I'm like,
for that.
oh, I have an
There's
app for that.
App for that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's genius. And so, but I did it from the perspective of, okay, yes, this affects our sex life, obviously, but if I do it in the right mentality where I'm going to serve my wife, right? Because now I know when it's coming. I know how I can be better serving to her.
Yeah.
And I can be more compassionate to her, right? Because so oftentimes it's, oh man, all right, our sex life is killed for a week.
Right.
No, now it's, how can I serve you in this week? So that's a huge one. And that goes kind of along with the calendar thing, because we get the little kids running around, man.
And you're living out 1 Peter 5.
That's what
where
I
it
was about
says,
to say.
live with your wife in an
understanding
understanding
And we
way.
got technology to back it up.
That includes that, what you just shared.
And I got
about
zero pushback when I
her
asked.
rhythm, yeah.
Zero pushback. And it was, how can I better serve? I want to do this so I can better serve you.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's not something that we even put on our radar screen because it's hers, but what's important to her is important to me, right, Ralph?
Right.
We're one flesh.
One flesh.
If she's suffering for a week, or I hate to call it suffering because it's a blessing by God, but it's difficult.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Right.
imagine
She's
going
going through
that.
it.
Exactly. What are your thoughts?
Marriage is to be honored by all, including your children, including your in-laws.
Yep.
And so if you have kids, your kids need to understand, or you should, I'm trying to clean up how I'm saying this because I don't want to come across too strong. If you have children, and obviously you have in-laws, if you have in-laws or anyone, they need to know how important your marriage is.
It needs to be number one.
It needs to be number one.
Yeah. That's well said.
And so when we honor our marriage, what we do is we create in their minds how important marriage is.
Right.
It's not a comparison. Like so if you have children, it's not like, hey, this is to be honored, and this is a different type of relationship. And one day you'll have that relationship with someone.
Yeah.
And our prayer is that you would honor it as well. So let's go on a date night every 7 days. Let's go on an overnight every 7 weeks. Like, man, take your wife and go somewhere and spend the night at a hotel. Oh, but wait a minute, man, you got the money for it.
Yeah.
Or kick your kids out.
Or kick your kids out.
And then the hotel becomes your house.
Right.
Yeah.
But we have, when I look back at Tracy and I, we have done some things that people think is weird. But like we would go and stay at a hotel and we'd be right around the corner from our house.
Who cares?
But we wanted to be alone.
Alone.
With just us.
It's huge.
Like we wanted to sit on the bed and eat, take out or whatever the case may be. We want to go on a date. Like, and then what does your wife or your spouse like to do? Go do that. My wife likes to travel. Oh man, y'all travel so much. You spend so much. Yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I want to honor my marriage, and God designed marriage for us to be friends, for us to be one, and for us to experience life together. And so many times there are things that are fighting for our attention.
Yep.
And it's like, no, man, this is my homie. We're walking through life together. So anyway.
And if you haven't watched the Boundaries episode, watch that because Ralph's, connecting that back together. All right, so take me home, empty nesters. What do we got?
Woo.
Wow.
Take me home. I'm here to learn right now.
Yeah, going back to
Does it really change? I mean,
allowing
if you've done it right up to that point,
Yeah.
you should be in a good rhythm.
Well,
yes.
It does change
Let
a
me be
little.
honest
Go
with
ahead.
you. Yeah, my daughter's getting married this Saturday, and she's older than she's getting married. She's 30, so we've had almost an empty nester 5-year run already.
Okay.
So it's like she's not like she's been at the house all the
Sure.
time. But our kids have seen what Ralph just talked about of how important date nights are, how important, hey, don't come to the house on Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Don't be interrupting us because you might go to therapy afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
The door's locked. You ain't coming in.
The door's locked for a reason, and some of them just come in. You know. So I said, "Hey, I'm just warning you. I threw out there. I'm just giving you flair out there. You might be sitting down with a therapist." Yeah. But we showed them how important dating is, how important time together is, how important vacations are. I felt like we did that the best we can.
Good.
Yeah.
Now that we're empty nesters, all right, Tony. What do you want to do? Like, what is it something that we couldn't do before? Now we can.
That's good.
You know, and, you know, there's a garden aspect to it. Like she's in a nesting phase. Like she wants to, you know, do things like the kids wouldn't allow us to do. Now we can do something at the house that we can. And, you know, all this other stuff that she's been thinking about is where we're at. But, hey, a lot of couples, I'm telling you, are not having sex.
Yeah.
Right.
They're so focused on career and kids, and they're tired.
Grandkids.
I mean, that's a priority. So I'm encouraging you. God gave us this gift. Let's use it because it blesses your marriage. It blesses your relationship. It meets the need of intimacy. It meets the need of emotional intimacy and physical intimacy. All these needs are met through sex. And I think when you approach it in a healthy way, it's one of the most fulfilling things you can do in marriage.
Yeah. Amen. Ralph, take us home, man. What do you got?
No, man. I think that you have to. It's a beautiful thing. I think being an empty nester and embracing it. At first, for us, it was difficult because it's like, man, we had football games. We had like our life was predicated on our kids and what they had going on. And one's in college, one's in high school, one's in, you know, people moving all over the place. And all of a sudden, like we dropped Trey off at Villanova. And I remember it like it was yesterday, like he's riding a skateboard down this hill.
Yeah.
And I look at my wife, I'm like, man, we getting ready to drive 12 hours from Philly. It's just us.
What you want to talk about?
And I'm pretty sure she was like, oh boy, this is gonna be, you know what I mean? Like my kids are gone now. Now, like what do we do?
Yeah.
Right? And thank God we had kind of prepared for it. And from a physical standpoint, I mean, in love with each other and continue to navigate physical intimacy. But there's also, and let's be real, you know, there's, man, like, I'm not what I used to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you get older, you just not what you used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Drive slows down a little bit.
The drive slows down, and then there's something mentally that happens there, right? Just like, man, what's going on with me? Like, am I the guy? Am I the man I used to be? And so it's funny. Her and we would start having those conversations, and again, we became friends.
Communicating vulnerably.
You know what I'm saying? And she's communicating what's going on.
Which is a different level of intimacy.
With her body and what's going on with my body. And it's just like, man, you know what I'm saying? Let's just enjoy life together, right? Yeah. And so, yes, we're still active and things are going well. But those levels of intimacy that we walk through, those first levels become more important when you're empty nesters.
Well said. Mm-hmm. Well said.
Like sometimes it's just, man, let's eat some popcorn, watch a movie, man, and hang out. Let's go on a trip together.
Quality time.
Yeah, it's the quality time, man. And just like, okay, so what's God doing in our life right now? Like, what are we trying to accomplish as a couple with our children's children? May they be blessed. You know, how do we keep healthy boundaries with those types of things so that it doesn't start to bleed into our relationship? Yeah. And so I think that's the beauty of being an empty nester. Good. You know, here's a verse right here that, and I never seen this, is Isaiah 46:4. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am He. I will sustain you and I will rescue you. This speaks to God's faithfulness and the endurance of covenant love.
I love it.
Like, I'll continue to pursue you. You know, and we talked before this happened. Like, there's a lot of guys when they turn 50, you know, they're trading their wife in for a new model.
I know.
Man, that breaks my heart.
There's damage there.
Bro, that's the reward. Mm-hmm. the inheritance.
Yeah, you're robbing yourself.
Right. I can't even, I saw this challenge, and we're running out of time, but I saw this challenge online where, the two parents run in different directions and the kid has to decide
I've seen
who to
that.
chase. Did you see that recently?
I've seen that, yeah. It's like babies, toddlers.
I can't imagine Gigi.
Yeah.
And my other granddaughter
Being put
trying
in
to
that
figure out
situation.
who to run out after.
No.
Right.
Where's Papa?
Yeah.
Where's Nana? Like, what? Trying to figure out, like, all right,
It's like
whose
torture.
house are we going to now?
Yeah.
Like, in their young minds, because we are the picture image of the preferred future.
Unity.
Yeah, man. So, like, fight for that. Fight for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't give that up. Jerry, what, 30?
38.
Yeah, man, 38 years in the game.
Yep.
For me, 33 married and more than that together. It's like, man, you're going to shift all of that for what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just burn it. You're just going to burn it.
That's the beauty of the faithfulness of the covenant, man. Keep
good.
fighting for it. So
And I need God to keep me.
He has to be in it.
Yes,
Yeah.
faithful and focused on Him. I love the word you said, Ralph, legacy.
Yeah.
As an empty nester, that word just kept coming up in my life the last 6 years. And I shared with you guys of how I almost messed it up. The enemy doesn't want you to see the legacy that God is building or what you're building, a legacy of faith, of wholeness with God. And we can mess it up in 33 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Doesn't take long to destroy.
as a young couple, having kids, focus on your relationship. I see a lot of couples just focus on their kids,
Yeah.
sports.
Yeah.
Marriage got to come first.
But yeah, your spouse is the number one person on the planet. A good question is asking your spouse, do you feel number one? Ask your spouse that. Do you feel number two? What am I dropping a ball in? And I think that just starts a great relationship going forward.
And be humble enough to respond to the answer
yeah.
in humility.
Sounds like they got their
How
homework,
can I get you
boys.
to number one?
Yeah.
What am I doing that's not getting you
Right.
to number one? What makes you feel that you're not number one?
Right.
Where can I, how would you say, where can I pick up my game
Right.
to make you feel
better.
number one?
What make you feel number
we've shared this about our spouses. We're asking our spouses, when do you most feel loved by me?
Yeah.
These questions are discovery questions.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to know where we're at. But if we don't talk about it, we just go with the culture. We just go with what the world says. And God is saying, you said the word protect,
Yeah.
the covenant,
Yeah.
man, and He's going to help you do that. And I think sex in marriage is so key to that.
Right. If comparison is the enemy of contentment, and we all compare ourselves to something,
Yeah, of
and
course.
so when that phone rings, and you're having a conversation with your wife, and then turn around and look at her, guess what? You just told her whatever was on that phone.
Not as
Yeah.
important as her.
That's
Exactly.
right.
It was more important than she is. And so, these are things we've learned over years of making mistakes. But man, if you can start to get this right, and you can start to, your enclosure, your garden, water your garden, man, and protect and keep it as God told Adam in the garden.
Fertilize the garden.
That's right, brother. So anyway, go ahead, bro.
Well, guys, appreciate it. You got your assignment at the end of this podcast. Go find out from your spouse how she can be number one, or even he, if you're a woman watching this. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, and send us your feedback, guys. Are there topics that we want you want us to cover, you want to hear about? And we're blessed to have you listening and tuning in, and we look forward to the next one. Jerry, Ralph, thank you guys.
Peace.
Altered Manhood. Until next time.